The concept came about last December, actually, and Drew and I started working on the lyrics with the rest of our lyrical team throughout January, and we had a rough version of the song at some point in winter session. The music had to be done before we could really start filming, before we could start filming anything.
I started helping out Avi with getting all the music down for instruments to actually be able to play it, because it started out as just a piano composition and then needed to be orchestrated for the entire pit band that we had.
We were able to do something that no other school has ever done before, which is to use a video as we begin communicating to high school sophomores and juniors, and to invite those high school sophomores and juniors to give us their ideas, to contribute to the making of the video. And if you watch carefully, at the end of the video, you can actually see the photographs of all of those sophomores and juniors who sent us questions and ideas that we were able to incorporate.
Something that was very cool for me personally was going up to New York to meet Susan Strowman. She is like the Broadway director of life. She is the person working in New York right now, and just to hear her advice, just to meet with her, we went to her apartment, we sang the song for her.
You know, creating a musical, it's you know, diving into the characters and into the story and finding out why one would sing and why one would dance, because you have to make it believable that someone launches into song and dance.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be true, but
Right.
it has to be believable.
Yes.
That was so cool that she would take that time to meet with us. Yes, she's a UD alum, so I'm sure that was a part of it as well. But not everybody gets that experience, so I'm very thankful for that opportunity.
So for the choreography for Delaware the Musical, it was definitely a collaborative effort. It was just as much Avi and Drew's vision as it was mine, because they created this musical and they already had an idea of how they wanted it to look. So it was them explaining to me exactly what their vision was, and then me sort of bringing that to life.
And I have to say, kudos to all of the administrators that participated, because we didn't give them a ton of information. They had an idea of what the project was about, an idea of what we wanted them to do, but those scenes were pretty organic. I mean, we just filmed it with Avi and Drew, peppering them with questions and suggestions, and the administrators just responding naturally. So I think a big part of the charm of the production is how real it is. It's not too polished.
In the Gore shot, in the scene in Gore Hall, when Drew and I are walking around and all of a sudden it's, where's Shanice? That's just simply because she had an RA interview and she couldn't make that shot, so we had to make something up real quick. You'll also notice that those guys are hanging from the pole. They are actually suspended from Gore Hall. We didn't tell anybody about that. We just hoped that no one would get pissed off at us and fire us. So we're all cool for now. The finale was by far the most important shot of the entire video. We really knew that if you have to end with a bang. That's something I learned from my interview when I went up to go meet Susan Strowman in New York. She's like, whatever you do, make sure you end with a bang.
The finale on the green, well, it was definitely, I was glad we finally got to do it. We had tried so many other dates before the actual date that we filmed the finale originally. We wanted days where it was a little bit, we could get more of a student presence, but it was great to see it finally come to fruition. It was something that we had thought about in such a grand way for so long, and to be able to see all the students come out and see it all be put together, it was great.
Well, the people who came out for the finale, while it wasn't the thousands of people that I would have loved to see out there, we had a few hundred people that were absolutely super engaged and loved every minute of it, and that energy you can't replace. That was worth 1,000 people right there.
The rehearsals were definitely minimal for what I'm used to in my other choreography projects, so that was a definite concern, that people weren't just going to practice on their own time and we'd all come back together and it would be a disaster. So the day of the shoot, we met earlier in the morning to make sure that everyone had actually practiced what they said they were going to do, and luckily people had really worked really hard, and it all really came together better than I thought it would have on the final day.
We had 4 hours, and we were managing anywhere between 200 or 300 students. Some of them were flipping in the air, some of them were running by playing tubas.
So I just remember standing underneath the camera and watching it all unfold, and I thought it was just absolutely beautiful. I loved it. It made my heart flutter.
You know, I had this vision months back of what it should look like when it was all put together, but to watch it actually come to life was just an awesome process, because I don't think we even expected it to look quite the way it did. We were very impressed with how it came out.
Delaware is waiting for you.
This place could change my life.
You'll live, you'll learn, you'll grow, you'll earn your degree.
The production team, they really helped me stay sane. Keith, Caitlin, and Drew, and Amy, everybody who was there really helped make things run as smoothly as possible.
You know, for me, it was probably the greatest experience to see the excitement of the entire campus community when we had the opportunity to, you know, really get a lot of the different, you know, student groups and, you know, the organization of the university involved.
I really liked the finale because it brought many different student groups together, such as Black Student Union, OLA, SGA. You had also the UD dance team and the cheerleaders, and it was really nice because it showed unity amongst all of these students.
To work with Avi and some of the staff that worked on this, you know, Bob, the camera guy as well, was a fantastic asset to our project. So really, it taught me a lot about the university. It made me, you know, even prouder to work at a great university like this one. And I made a lot of great friends and got to meet a lot of wonderful people.
What really touched me, what really made this project such a cool thing, and particularly for the finale, was that these students were there because simply because they wanted to be there. It was not, we weren't paying anybody, we weren't pulling anybody's leg. They just wanted to have a good time on a beautiful day and be a part of something that was goofy and beautiful at the same time. And I really think everybody had a great time, including myself. Yes, it was stressful. Yes, it did get hot. Yes, I got sunburned on half of my face, but it was worth it. And you know, that shot as the camera raises up in the air slowly, you can't beat that. Totally, yeah. I mean, you know, you see like 250 on Facebook traditionally means 13, so it's really cool to see, you know, a couple hundred people here.
It's been such a unifying event on campus, and I think that everyone's just seriously excited to see it.
You know, there isn't a day that when I, you know, happen to click on the YouTube link and watch it, that doesn't bring a smile to my face, and to feel like I was a part of this great project.
It's so funny. It's so funny, and the video is so cheesy, but on purpose. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out.